This is TWiT.
Most of, by the way, what Apple shipped last week is now
next week. Announced
last week.
Shipping the end of this week.
Ships at the end of this. Ships Friday
or tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the embargo's lifted, so you've got advanced units.
I do.
Most of it is incremental.
Yes.
Upgrades of existing products using the M5, right?
Exactly. The iPad Pro got updated last spring, spring 24, 18 months ago,
and I love my M4
with
iPad
the new
Pro.
M4 design, and so the M5 iPad Pro is the same as the M4.
Okay, not it's a different screen.
It's a brand new design. I mean, yeah, it's the same. It's the tandem OLED, which is the best screen Apple's ever made.
Gorgeous.
It's super thin, especially the 13-inch is the thinnest thing Apple's ever made. Basically, it is that with the M5 in it, and so the M5 chip is really kind of the story. And the same for the MacBook Pro. They only updated the base model. There's no M5 Pro or M5 Max chip yet. It's just the base. So they decided to roll out that base 14-inch MacBook Pro as an M5 as well. But again, that's a design that's been around for a while. That was in the M1 generation that design started, and it's got the really bright display with the notch in it. It's really a really good Mac display. It's got ProMotion.
It's not as good as the iPad.
It's not as good as the iPad, and the rumor is...
It's funny, I find myself using the iPad Pro just because the screen's
better. The screen's the best screen that Apple's made, I think, period. But the rumor is that the MacBook Pro is going to get its update maybe in a year with the M6 generation, where they will have some things that are different, including Mark Gurman says a touch screen. So
and an OLED touchscreen, although not OLED. Tandem OLED, right?
Yeah,
Single layer.
It's interesting, the decisions that they have to make. So anyway, this is a generation for both of them. I think the iPad Pro, it's going to be a while. For the MacBook Pro, it may be next year, but this is an interim step, and the changes are minor because of that. The chip is the biggest change. If we throw in the other chips in the iPad Pro, they are also a big change because it's using Apple's chip for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and it's using Apple's cellular chip in the iPad Pro for the first time. And so, I am not a wireless tester, but I did do some wireless testing in a difficult wireless environment, which is my backyard, where there's no Verizon and no T-Mobile and only a little bit of AT&T. And what I found is basically Apple's chip for me in my testing was slightly slower at downloads, like 10% slower, and it was like 7 times faster at uploads. So in my backyard, in a couple of days, it did pretty well. I would say
it even picked up Verizon, which you
and
could
it
never
got a bar
right?
from Verizon and pulled down some data. And I'll tell you, everybody who comes to my house who's like a solar installer or a plumber or whatever, they're like, can I get your Wi-Fi password? Because they can't. They're Verizon. I like, Verizon, huh? Because it doesn't show here, and they managed to get a little data through even in my backyard on Verizon. So that was pretty good. So that's
but
nice.
That
and the
new
Wi-Fi
modem and
7 is
M1 chip
fast.
are not in the MacBook Pro. They're only in the iPad. Is that right?
I mean, my review on 6 Colors, I took my shots. I think that now that we live in a world where Apple's got its own chips that do those things, why does the MacBook Pro not support Wi-Fi 7? Why does it not support Bluetooth 6? Why does it not have a cellular option? Like, they're probably waiting for a redesign next year. But like, I think we got to call them on it. Like, you make your own cellular chip now. Cellular's been in the iPad since day one, and you still don't make cellular Macs. And I just think it's stupid. I think it's a choice people should have. I buy a cellular iPad because having that cellular tethering is a very nice fallback.
Yeah.
But
it's not as fast.
It uses another device's battery.
Yeah.
It's not as fast. It can be finicky. Having it on device, having used the cellular iPad for a while, I'm a believer. It's great. I would love to have it on a laptop. And now that Apple makes their own, they have even less excuse not to do it. So that's kind of a bummer. And Wi-Fi 7 as well. Like the Wi-Fi speeds I can get on the M5 iPad Pro, very impressive because they're using the Wi-Fi 7 router that I have here. And that's an upgrade that the MacBook Pro doesn't get. So that's kind of a bummer. And then the M5 is exactly what they said it was. It's exactly what we found the A19 to be in the iPhone, which is, the CPU core goes up 10% in speed every year, it seems like, but the GPU went up more. They threw in some machine learning accelerators. So if you're running machine learning processes, there are APIs you can write to, some of which are out now and some of which are forthcoming. They're updating all their MLX frameworks and things that a lot of stuff that's machine learning based that uses GPUs will be like maybe 2-3 times as fast as it is now. But it's the same old story. Most of the ML applications that people use are in the cloud, not on device. And so they won't see any difference there. But Apple's hoping over time that their processors are so powerful that more people will use them for on-device machine learning tasks, because then it's local. Your data never leaves your computer, and we'll see if they're successful at that. They've certainly got the chips to do the job. So, yeah. So that's basically it.
I like Mark Gurman. I'm going to wait till next year. I'm going to get an M6, and I want an OLED screen.
I think
I want touch.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
I think there's if you're in the market for a MacBook Pro today, I actually was thinking about this.
Should you wait for the M5 Ultra? Pro or Max?
I think the curse of Apple Silicon for Apple is that it's so good that it actually makes it hard to sell high-end systems. And these higher-end MacBook Pros are starting to feel more and more niche to me. Like, it used to be the low-end MacBook Pro was like, that's not a MacBook Pro. It doesn't have that extra port or that screen or whatever. Remember, it was kind of a lesser computer that they slapped the label on. But today, I look at this M5 MacBook Pro and I think, how many people really need a faster processor?
You know
than the
where
M5?
I would disagree with you is AI.
Oh, sure. I mean,
local
that's,
AI.
When I say,
and not many people are doing local AI.
When I say niche,
but those who are really
when I see
the
niche,
higher-end stuff
yes, I think that's true. And given the GPU acceleration on the base M5, if you're a GPU AI person, I've got to assume that with so many more GPU cores on an M5 Pro or M5 Max, that those things will be screamers when it comes to GPU machine learning stuff. But I think for regular people,
even your benchmarks of the M5 showed fairly improved NPU.
Oh yeah, the M5 in machine learning on GPU is really impressive if you use the ML accelerators that are in the GPU now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for that. I think for a lot of regular people, maybe that base model MacBook Pro is fine. And the question I have about the M6, if it truly has OLED and touch and all of that, is I wonder if the M6 MacBook Pros will be the higher end ones, and that this one won't inherit that design right away for margin reasons, basically, to keep a low priced MacBook Pro in the line. But it's a good computer. I question how many people need it and not just a MacBook Air, honestly, because the MacBook Air will presumably get the M5 in the spring too. And I mean, I know it's not quite the same.
This is a MacBook Air with more ports, basically, right?
More ports, better screen,
maybe some more
and
RAM.
a fan.
And a fan.
Those are sort of the big ones. More ports, better screen, a better battery, and a fan. So it'll run.
Fan means it can run faster.
It
doesn't.
Even with the same chip, it'll run a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But the MacBook Air, you trade some of that in for thin and light and really nice. So it depends on your
these MacBook
priorities.
Pros are still pretty thin and light. I mean, they're not massive machines. They really look good.
They're really nice.
Especially
really
when
nice.
you pose them next to a phaser.
Okay, so there's a classic Star Trek episode where there's AI that's trying to take people's jobs and is actually very bad. How timely. And it's called the M5. It's the ultimate computer.
Oh, man.
And when they announced the M1, I was like, well, in 5 years, I'm going to make a lot of Star Trek references.
Joke.
And today, friends, today
funny.
is the day. So that picture that you were showing on our video feed, not only is there a phaser next to it, but the wallpaper on there, that is the M5 computer from Star Trek. So,
oh man, I missed the whole joke.
Yep, that's it. That's it. The ultimate computer was the name of that episode, which is also the headline of my story. So,
man, you're really going deep on this.
I'm done now.
How many people recognize that?
They're older people recognize it, I guess. That's what we're left with now. So yeah, my iPad review has a little communicator. John Moltz, my friend, John Moltz.
Did he get it?
He 3D printed those the communicator and the phaser for me.
Oh, nice.
That I used as props in this, and then I will also have at Halloween, and I could be Captain Pike for Halloween.
Are you going to be Captain Pike?
I am going to be Captain.
You're
Pike.
You're going to be the healthy.
I got the gray
Captain
hair.
Pike,
I got the gray hair, so I can't be Captain Kirk. I got to be Captain.
You got to be Pike.
Yep.
Wow. if I were going to do that, I'd probably do honeymooners references. So it's probably best.
Well, you're older than me.
Don't. Yes.
That's fair. That's fair. I encourage you, especially, I encourage people to find the Ultimate Computer episode of Star Trek. It's on Paramount Plus here in the US. It is really interesting because I think what they're trying to talk about primarily is the idea that the threat in the 60s, like, are computers going to replace people? So it's sort of about replacing labor and automating. I think it has its heart in in factories and like being concerned that factories are going to replace laborers with machines. But I'll tell you, it has added resonance today if you think about AI, the idea that there's this smart computer that's going to take Captain Kirk's job. And guess what? It starts blowing things up. It's actually really bad, and they got to shut it off. And that's what the episode is. So I think it's a timely watch for today.
And throughout the biggest failing is that throughout the entire episode, that computer did not try to hit on any of the female ensigns even once. Not even like a little bit of a pass.
You know what I love? Our audience.
You don't know that.
Our audience is so in tune. Oscar Castillo in the YouTube says, well, Dr. Daystrom went mad, but he loved his M5.
He did. He loved it so much.
And Out of Sync says it's Daystrom's ultimate computer.
The ultimate computer. Yeah.
People remember this stuff. I'm impressed.
I've been waiting since I was 5 years old. I've been waiting for this day.
M5, baby. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed this highlight from MacBreak Weekly. If you want to see the whole show, we're every Tuesday. You can watch us live right here on YouTube, or just click the link below and download an episode or subscribe if you really like it. What does it the kids say? Oh, yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.